My entrepreneurial awakening happened in 2019 when I was working for an IT company in the Twin Cities. I had spent years working in the corporate and small business world. And I reached a point where my visionary within kind of woke up and said it was time to do it myself. So in 2020, I took my entrepreneurial leap and started my IT company. And in that year, the pandemic struck. So I was out on my own, doing my thing. And that was a tough year. And so the IT company's kind of doing its thing. And so in 2021, my wife and I pivoted to cleaning. So I have this history in IT and service management and service delivery. So I just took all of those concepts and applied it into the cleaning model. So we jumped directly into cleaning. So we offer residential, commercial, and all sorts of specialized cleaning to the community. So when we pivoted from technology to cleaning, our focus is on people first, on how can we impact this community by service. So my first idea was through service through IT. That didn't go very far. Well, as an entrepreneur, you pivot when you need to move something. So this community, we saw a great need in both residential, commercial, and different varieties of needing help with different variety of cleaning projects. And so our motto is people first, always. So we always look for the people element of what we're trying to do and how we serve. So in our people first method, we are proud members of the Waseca Chamber. So we support local businesses and we want to interact and connect with as many businesses as possible. But we also try to strive at servicing people at the greatest rate for everybody. So that's what people first means is we're people as a business, the people we serve our business, and we try to align all of that together. And another thing we're trying to do here in the cleaning industry, specifically for Stoltz Cleaning, is we've aligned with the American House Cleaners Association, who's trying to raise awareness of the house cleaners. It's a stigmatized industry, so it's not seen as professional. So we're trying to raise that together. And then we focus on quality and care. So how did we get from my entrepreneurial leap to today? I had a lot of influences in my life from Simon Sinek and The Infinite Game. Bob Chapman, he's a business guy making a huge impact in the business world. He wrote a book called Everybody Matters. So this really focuses on bringing the heart of what business is meant to do is serve people, enrich the lives of people. And I'm trying to do that with cleaning. And then big impacts on just how do I run business. Gino Wickman in his books, Traction, Rocket Fuel, Entrepreneurial Leap. And then Michael Gerber's book, The E-Myth Revisited, was a huge impact on me because that really warns technicians or people that are doers and get disillusioned with work, jump into the do-it-yourself and they get overwhelmed by business. Well, this helped me keep a level mind saying, I'm going to go into this, but it's going to be tough. So us as a cleaning business, our goals are to be seen and found in the community and to create jobs. And that's it. We just want to make a big impact, serving as many people as possible. And we see cleaning is there's every place to clean. So that's what I got. Questions?
Awesome, thank you. Matt, I'll let you choose questions from the audience as they come in.
Thank you. Is there anything you guys wouldn't clean? I mean, off the top of your head, you're like, we're not equipped for that yet.
So her question is there anything that we wouldn't clean? At this point right now, the only thing that we're kind of turning down is window cleaning. Window cleaning is very difficult and we don't have the right equipment to do it. And so when we have bid for those jobs, it's like, it's going to take this amount and everybody's shocked. And it's like, well, it's laborious to do and we don't do it well. So, and if we don't do it well, then we don't want to take the job. But yeah, when it comes to like just being able to take a variety of jobs, we do everything from an apartment turn, which is a simple clean, to I'm cleaning a hoarder house this week. So
How do customers find you, and or are you guys trying to target more residential, or are you looking for more of those commercial contracts?
the question was about how are we getting discovered? We have an online presence. So we have Facebook. Facebook has been a huge driver of connecting with the community. That's helped connect with residential home users and a lot of small businesses. What we're having difficulty connecting with is the larger clients, or so the small mid-sized offices, and connecting with like government-sized places. So we're just dipping into that. But Facebook has been incredibly effective at connecting with the overall, just general community. And then we advertise quite frequently in the Good News magazine. We've seen a lot of results. That reaches several of the Waseca community towns, and that has had a huge result on not only residential business, but commercial business as well.
If you had to start all over again, and if you would ask the city or the county something that you felt they didn't provide you in the first time you started, what would it be?
If I had to start all over again. I think I had all the things I needed from the county. I mean, I got a lot of help from Gary in the Economic Development Department. They led us in the right direction to go reach out to the Southern Minnesota Initiative Foundation, and they helped guide me on how to get capital for my equipment that I need and things like that. And then also I have worked with the SBDC prior when I was working with my IT company. And so my first launch of my first business really helped me reboot and launch this far better. So this was actually a better reboot attempt than my first business. But all of these resources have been very helpful because there's so much that's confusing when you start a small business.
Thank you.
What sets you apart from quote unquote the rest?
What sets me apart is I'm people focused. So a lot of people, or what really got me into the entrepreneurial spirit is that I wanted to reawaken the heart of what business is. So instead of everybody like vilifying, like, oh, down on capitalism because of this or that, I'm not trying to do that. I'm just saying the heart of business is to serve people and to show it. I live it. And so I thought the best way to do it was to start my own organization. Oh, go ahead.
Yes, I was going to ask, you mentioned the town surrounding Waseca. Wanted to see how far is your range? How far will you travel?
Right now, our reach is we service residential clients in the Waseca area. For business clients, so projects, my wife and I work together on project jobs like house flips, hoarder houses, apartment turns and things like that. Then we'll travel outside of the city limits and take those jobs. But we're trying to really focus our recurring jobs and revenue to come from local communities. So I'm not servicing any businesses yet outside of Waseca. I want to establish a presence here. But if that is the case where there's a greater need outside the community, we want to be the provider to do it.
What's the most significant unexpected challenge you've met so far?
Unexpected challenge. I think the unexpected challenge is both the positive and negative feedback you get from the entrepreneurial community. A lot of the negative part is just harsh, like this is so tough, why are you getting into it? And then there's just a ton of like, come on, we're all struggling to do this right, let's do it together. So I think the unexpected part was that because it's so difficult, and we know it's difficult, how harsh other entrepreneurs can be to each other. That's why I like this organization, is to say, I'm just a normal dude that started a business because I saw a dream, and you can too.
So the financial challenges were expected.
The financial challenges were expected, yeah.
You were well prepared for those.
Well, who is ever prepared for that? No. But that's where when I'm like, we're just trying to find out what I'm going to do to make the next payment, or how I'm going to buy my equipment, talking to the right place to get the right encouragement to say, go talk to these people. And then the SMIF group really jumped in and helped us there, because we did face discouragement when we went to local banks and got turned down for loans. But SMIF has us rocking, so.
Matt, you mentioned it's your wife and you. Are you guys looking?
So
to
we are,
expand?
yeah, I'm looking to grow this into a service organization. I'm not physically able to do all of the demanding work that I want to do. And I actually have a dream to build this to create many, many jobs. And so when I was running an IT organization before, it's just building an organization that cares well for people. I want to do the same here, so that I don't have to be the one out running my machines on the floor, and I can be running teams of people. I want to create lots of jobs for people that care.
Matt, what would you do differently if you were restarting your business again? Had success, but you always have challenges. What would be the one or two things that you might do differently looking backwards from where you are today?
If I could go back, I would skip the IT part and jump directly into getting my cleaning equipment going. The greater challenge that way was I knew that seed would grow slower because it needed more intellect, planning, and challenge and strategy. Whereas this I had to buy equipment and put my hands on the ground. So this one just, other entrepreneurs lit the spark, saying, like, why are you trying to do that? You can't do this. I'm like, yes, I can. Boom, I bought the equipment and got it done. So like starting over again is just believing that you can do it and clinging to the positive voices.
Brian has another question
Oh,
for
Brian.
you.
Yes, you talked about being declined at banks and working with the Initiative Foundation. And I've referred a lot of people to the Initiative Foundation, but I haven't heard many stories. So I'm curious, what were the reasons banks were telling you that they were declining these loans, and how is working with the Initiative Foundation different?
Well, a lot of the loans are just like any type of loan, they're credit score based. And so the first recession back in 2009 destroyed us. So we didn't have personal credit to really work with. We had zero credit actually, and no bank wants to work with you if your credit score is zero. And so we had to take time to do that. So, we had cash flow, we had money and things to show. But again, the reason we partnered with the American Home Cleaners Association is this industry is stigmatized. So the banks told us bluntly that we don't believe house cleaners is a real business. And I'm trying to say, I get that. This is the scope. I'm not doing just a house cleaning service. This is a true service to a community. This is going to be commercial services. I'm going to need commercial equipment, but I need residential grade equipment to deliver residential grade stuff. This is, so raising the professional awareness that this is a professional industry. House cleaners are doing very skilled work. I know there's a lot of people that are doing their, gig type of work. And that's one of my strategies, is to try to connect with these house cleaners that are doing it off the books, or their cash cleaners, bring them into a professional ability to work with the company, and then use their skills for the community. I don't know if I answered that.
No, that was great. I also wanted to let you know there was a comment in Facebook just saying that they love it. It's great to have entrepreneurs that are about serving needs. So they really appreciated your comments in that regard.
Matt, do you see any competition in either Waseca and or again from sort of, I'm gonna say maybe more national, the
Yeah, so-
Stanley Cleaners of the world?
So our competition is Service Master, but our greatest advantage in Waseca is Service Master lost their spot in Waseca and moved to Mankato. And so they do have, I do believe that Service Master has most of the accounts in town, but I'm local. So I do plan to expand to become, I'm running my business model to be franchisable, but I want to keep it.
Mhm.
So I'm going to use that same method that they use to grow their organizations to be able to sprout up in as many towns as you need to. But I want to keep the heart of business alive.
Great. I got another question, but let's bounce back to Ryan.
This question actually came in through Facebook chat. Have you done any co-marketing campaigns, radio and Facebook, for example?
I have on Facebook, radio, no. We've done a mass mailing. That gets expensive. You print, 1,000 prints that all go in 990 trash bins, and it costs you $1,000 to run it. That gets tough. So actually, forced campaign or paid campaign, the only paid campaign I'm using that's been extremely effective in the Waseca community is the Good News magazine. There's so many in this community that are spiritual, and this is just kind of like a wholesome magazine that just brings that together. We're a community businesses, and so those businesses that advertise in there, like I do, can see pretty awesome return.
So Matt, I have another question. So you mentioned maybe wanting to attract some of those that are doing cleaning already on the side. So without sounding down, there has been a challenge to find employees from a lot of different businesses. So I guess what's your strategy to try to find employees as you want to try to grow?
That, I don't know, that is tough. I think, well, if I use right now, there is a challenging hiring strategy right now. People have way better options than they've ever had before. So it really is an employer's market or an employee's market. So it's really being able to connect to the hearts of people, saying this is not just pushing a broom around, this is a mission. So selling an idea, selling a vision, reaching the hearts of people should attract people that want to come clean, because the actual cleaning stuff, that's dirty and messy. But if we can just spark the heart of service in people, I think I can attract people that want to come and serve with me.
Are you concentrating on residential or commercial?
So right now, I have 6 business commercial clients, and we are pivoting towards trying to get more of those contracts. We need recurring revenue base, and our commercial clients are that. The residential clients is a challenge because of gig worker economy is prices are all over the place, and people want their houses cleaned for nickels on the dollar. And so it's a real hard thing to build recurring revenue off of residential. So that's where residential's money comes from, those projects, the home flips, the move in and outs, the big deep cleans, those things like that. So we're really focusing on how do we get into organizations like this. I do have a bid in with the county of the Waseca County and the city to try to get in to be the service provider for things like this. But that's a whole new area that bigger service organizations, they know how to do that. I'm just dipping my toe.
Want to go back to Ryan and then
Yes. 2 comments came in again on Facebook. These are both from Yvonne as a bit of a follow-up to the question on co-marketing campaigns. So I'm just going to read them directly. First, she said, with my service business, when we were first starting, I did a weekly radio show coupled with print ads, linking the two together. She said your community message would work well in a regular format. Today, that might mean something like Facebook videos or YouTube videos with cleaning tips and showing when something is better done by a pro.
Yeah.
And then she said, interview people when you reveal the newly cleaned space. Take video and then ask them if you can use a 10 to 15-second clip. That would help build that feeling that you are serving for the public and future employees.
Yep, I like that comment. And I do actually have a close friend from high school who's a YouTuber that does this type of thing. So I'll be talking to him.
I guess I was gonna say, kind of like that salon model is saying, you know, if you want somebody to come back for another haircut, you book them right away. You say before they leave, when do we want to schedule the next appointment?
Absolutely.
So I don't know if you take that approach and or, again, you've already mentioned it, it can be a tight cost break for people, but saying, hey, if you do, let's schedule 3 months, like get you on the books for 3 months at a time.
Yeah.
And if I do that, then I'll maybe take 10% off or something like that.
Yep. So we do schedule with our recurring clients. We have a waiting list. So we are particular on who we bring on board so that the value matches for everybody. It's a value to the person that wants to hire us and to us as well. So, you know, we have turned down jobs that, you know, just don't work. But
Great. Well, Ryan, I'm gonna ask the last question. Is that okay?
Yes.
Okay, so, as I forget what the question actually is, what can we as a one MC community do for you, Matt, and your cleaning company?
the continued community support and involvement like this. So I just continue to look to how can I connect with the community and then get my service out there. So how can 1 Million Cups help? This is a big help. Getting other entrepreneurs like me, who's an introvert who wouldn't actually volunteer for stuff like this, come out and talk to people and say, you know, live your dream and go